we're going to try and use cosine law to solve for an unknown angle at this point. Now, what's really important here is that we recognize that this is in fact only solvable using cosine law. We can't use the sine law because we don't have an angle opposite angle pairing. What I have here is all three angles known, or sorry, all three side lengths known, but I don't know any of the inside angles. And because I don't know any of the inside angles, I cannot possibly use the sine law because I won't get any complete ratio. So as always, we need to label the triangle as best as we can. So we have all three angles, angle A, B, and C. But now what we need to do is actually label the three sides. So across from angle A, we have side length A. And then across from angle B, we have side length B, and across from angle C, we have side length C. Okay? Because we have all three side lengths, we're able to figure out an unknown angle. In this case, we're looking for angle B. So if we want to figure out what angle B is, we need to use the appropriate formula. So in this case, we're using cos B is going to be equal to a squared plus c squared minus b squared, all divided by 2 times a times c. Okay, so that's the formula that we need to use because we're trying to figure out angle B. So now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in the values that we have. So we're going to write in cos of angle B. We don't know what angle B is. A squared, we've got 15.7 squared plus c squared, which is 13.5 squared, minus b squared, and b is 14.2 squared, all divided by 2 times a, which is 15.7 times c, which is 13.5. Okay? So now what we need to do is actually simplify this because there's a lot of stuff here. So if we go through and we simplify this, I'm going to move it slightly over to the left here. So cos B is going to equal 15.7 squared. It's going to be 246.49 plus 13.5 squared is 182.25 minus 14.2 squared, which is 201.64. Okay, and that is all being divided by 2 times 15.7 times 13.5. So if I multiply 2 times 15.7 times 13.5, that gives me 423.9 on the bottom. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the top. I can simplify the top. So I'm going to add the first two numbers and then subtract the last two numbers. So I do 246.49 plus 182.25 minus 201.64. Okay, and that's going to give me 227.1 all over 423.9. Okay, so now I can simplify this actually even further. So I'm going to go cos B is equal to 227.1 divided by 423.9 is going to equal approximately 5357. Okay, so now I've got my cos B is equal to this particular ratio, and I want to figure out what B is. Okay, so if I want to figure out b, I need to do the opposite operation of cos, so I separate the cos and the b. So I've got cos negative 1, cos b is equal to cos negative 1 of 0.5357. Okay, and so that's going to, the cos negative 1 and the cos are going to cancel out on the left-hand side. So I'm just left with angle B. And then when I do the inverse cos of 0.5357, that gives me approximately 58 degrees. Okay, so again, we can use cosine law to solve for an unknown angle. Just a matter of substituting in the correct numbers and then entering them into your calculator and solving.